Yes, people, welcome back to another video. John Sinclair TV back again tonight, and I've got Rolly with us again. Rolly, good evening to you, mate.
Evening, John.
Champion stuff. Guys, you got to have your say. There's a link out there, top of the link as well. We'll talk about Anthony Gordon and other news on Newcastle United. And if you'd like to subscribe to the channel, hit the subscribe button as well. It's that easy to do. And if you'd like to hit the like button, that'd be fantastic. The like, hit the subscribe. If you'd like a super chat is open. And if you'd like to become a member, it's just 99p. So the options are already there. So yes, Anthony Gordon has had his medical, and it should be announced anytime soon that he's going to become a Newcastle United player on a long-term contract. So, or the people said that he's on Tyneside, had his medical, etc. Then let's be real, it's not been announced just yet. Before we go on, let's go on to some comments as well. And the one I got is John Shua, speaking to you, John. Serious John, if this kid who showed just patches of his forms worth 45 mil, why is Jack Harrison of Leeds, who's played decent for 4 seasons, only worth 25 mil? I just don't get the hype beyond this kid. Well, it's gone quiet on that front, John. Yes, Jack is a good player, but Leeds do not want to sell him at this moment in time. That's why we moved on to Anthony Gordon. He has who potential. Clark, you've got to have your say. The link is out there. Come on, have your say on Anthony Gordon. That'd be fantastic. Big up to Leslie as well. Hi to you. Can everyone please check that our still subscribe notifications are on, because my own was reset somehow. It's also doing receiving John's updates. Thank you. Yes, help Leslie out, please. That'd be fantastic. Evening to Truls. Evening to you, my guy. Hope you're okay. And Clarky on Anthony Gordon. Massive pace, aggression, and pressing forward. Plus he draws fouls just like Grealish. Can't wait to see him in a week's time. That is Clarky. Obviously, a big Toon fan as well. Gordon needs to prove himself just like every other player, in my opinion. And really, everyone say hi to Gareth. Media work says it's already been done. That's in Clarky. Big up the chest as well. And hope you're okay. Share the appreciation to Jess, by the way. And I'm not a fan of Gordon, but after listening to reports, etc., I'm more inclined to give him a chance. We have to give him a chance, Les. We have to. And even to Chris, I hope you're okay. Big up to JD Beats. If you hit the subscribe button, mate, I believe it's your first time. Please hit that subscribe button, mate. That'd be fantastic. And hi to both. That's Rap the Tune. Goodbye, Eddie. We'll get the best out of him and making a better player. And Rock the Tune, big up to you as well. 28 people watching live. Thank you so much indeed. And do smash the likes. That'd be amazing. Thank you very much indeed. So here we are, Rolly. Anthony Gordon, as you know, could be a Newcastle player soon.
Yeah, I think he's divided the fan base for the time being, but because to be honest, when he's been playing against us, it's been a bit of a shit house. To put it bluntly, but shortly it's going to be our shit house. So it reminds me. He reminds me a bit, not in his playing ability or his playing style, of Joey Barton. So I used to hate him until he signed for us. Then I loved him, and I think it's going to be the same sort of thing with Anthony Gordon. I think one of the attributes he's got is that he's young, and he's a lot younger than Jack Harrison. He's one of the fastest players in the league. I think only Modric, who's just signed, is faster. He's got a bit of skill about him. He's got that fight in him. We obviously saw, because he wanted to fight not just Kieran Trippier, Fabian Schär as well. So that's going to be an interesting introduction.
Yes.
But I mean, the biggest problem he's had with his career is he's been at Everton for the last couple of years, because they're a madhouse at the minute. I mean, I thought that we were bad under the previous owner, but Everton's owners almost make him look a reasonable owner. It's a basket case there. He's not really had good management for any sustained period of time, because he had Rafa for about half a season, and then he's been under shite managers. So that's probably stunted his development. Now he's going to go into a dressing room that's full of leaders, that can take him under their arm, show him the ropes. He's got a fantastic coaching staff he'll be working with. He's at a club that's on the up. Everyone's pulling in the same direction. It's all positive. Fingers crossed he'll be going to watch a cup final because it's cup tied.
Yes.
But I'll just give him a taste for what's to come. So the price, bit high. Well, the price is only high if he flops. If he turns out to be the player that Eddie and the Ashworth and the staff think he's going to be, it'll turn out to be a bargain. And you look at Joe Linton when we played 40 for him.
Yeah.
For 2 years, it was a flop. At the beginning of last season, if you'd offered me £2.50 for him, I'd have taken it and asked if you wanted change. But look at him now. Look at him now. So, and so you've got to trust the process, trust the people in charge, because which signing have they had that's been a flop? Well, people might say Chris Wood, but he did a job. His job was to help keep us in the division. He did that.
Yeah.
No one was expecting him to be the next coming of Alan Shearer. You think he's at best he's a 10-goal a season striker. He chipped in with a couple of really important goals that ended up getting us 6 points, and he played his part. And he's at Forest now on loan with a obligation if he meets certain criteria, which apparently is his appearances. I think I'm hoping it's 3 or something like that. And so it ends up that it'll only cost us 10 million.
Yeah.
So 10 million to stay up is a bargain.
Absolutely.
And you look at everybody else that they've bought, and they've made a considerable contribution. Right? Even Matt Targett's not playing now, but he is integral in us staying up last season. And the only reason he's not in the team now is because he's injured. And he was sick. They moved Dan Burn into left back, and he can't get his place back. And that's what we need to be, is that when you get ill or you're injured, it's difficult to get your place back. I mean, ASM's finding that in a minute because we've been playing so well.
Absolutely.
We don't want to be in a position where someone gets injured and they automatically walk back into the team unless they're an absolute superstar like Bruno.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And you know what it is, right? It's all about competition as well. And you know what it is, right? We see what Martin Keown comes out with, which I think is absolutely, wow, shocking his opinion. Let's go on to Up the Toon. Did I get a message on Twitter? I don't think I did, mate. Send us a DM, man. Send us a DM. Thanks so much, JD. I appreciate that. Wasn't aware, but thank you. I was almost losing my hopes for this window, but Anthony Gordon is a big upgrade in Murphy and Fraser. I'm looking forward to one more signing a quality midfielder. If it's Madison, I'll fly from happiness. Thank you very much for your comments. Only thing that really annoys me is the price tag, to be fair. 45 million quid. That's how it is, mate. That's how it is, I'm afraid. You know what I mean? That's what happens when you buy a British talent. You got to pay the premium. It's always been that way. Always. The only thing that annoys me is helping Everton. Talk about Ryan Fraser being linked with Everton, because an incoming manager, Sean Dyche, wants him when he goes through the doors at Everton Football Club. Big up to Jan, by the way. I hope you're okay, mate. And everyone's chanting everyone else. And Diaby would be number one target for the summer. I think that could be the case. It's his contract for 6 years. It will be announced when he signs to the dotted line. The club will announce that. We don't know. It could be long term. Don't forget, Chelsea were prepared to pay 60 mil. That's in Clarkey. A 5-year contract, according to Leslie. 5-year contract. Eddie will work with Magic Lads. Gary, he will. Don't worry about that. DT, I hope Gordon will not be fearless, because Gordon's contract has a sell-on clause. That's another thing I want to talk about as well. I know Howe is good, but he is in Merlin. Just joking. He might just get him on the right track. That's Jules as well. I Like Coffee said, big up to I Like Coffee. Get Eben in as well. Unai Emery settings, I must say. You had any news on a bid for Ashley for West Ham? The last I've heard from him that got turned down because you didn't offer him enough. But the guy wants to come to Newcastle. We'll come to him later. So on to what Martin Keown said, right, on Anthony Gordon. I will read it out. And he's basically saying that he doesn't like his attitude, but this is what Keown remarked. He wanted to go to Chelsea, talk of a bid. That turned his head clearly. Now, there's talk of Newcastle, which is going to come to Newcastle. That's turned his heat as well. He also added he's got a football club where he is. He needs to just concentrate and do his best where he is right now. Obviously, that's not the case, Martin, because he's coming to Newcastle. And he also added as well, he's there and he's catered for. If he needs his kid for, how do you then have normal type of personality where he doesn't get his way? It's almost like sports child behavior. Club has a parent in the right way. Now, what it is, Rolly, right? He didn't start for training for 3 days in a row, right? And what it is, right, that he obviously said he don't want to play for the club anymore. So a lot of people say he's got a bit of an attitude. People say that he's a good lad. Rolly, we don't know. I mean, we don't. Yeah. Nobody knows. And everyone.
All we know is what Everton have told us is that the first day that he didn't turn up was planned. He's obviously got his advisors to tell Everton that he didn't want to stay at Everton. He wants to come to Newcastle. Who can blame him wanting to come to the best club in the country? Then he didn't appear for 2 days and then turned up and trained alone. Now, I'm just wondering if it's similar to Moses Caicedo. He said he wants to go to Arsenal. The club said that we're not going to sell him, told him not to turn up to training until after the transfer deadline. So maybe they told him to go away, don't come to training. And then the third day said, right, the deal's going to go through. We're going to take the deal, come in, and you train on yourself, because you don't get them to train on themselves if you're going to keep them. You'd say, but as Brighton did, come back up the window, get your head straight. But by coming in, when you came in on yesterday, you're thinking the deal's going to go through. Especially when he heard that he trained on his own. He's obviously made it clear that he wanted to come to Newcastle, and no one can blame him for that. Then it's up to the clubs to sort it out. Now, I mean, the problem with it is that Everton haven't said anything about his absence when they were asked. Well, Sky didn't report anything, so they said on the first day it was planned, but they haven't said anything about what happened the other 2 days.
Yeah.
They could have cleared it up and said, like, he's not turned up. We're expecting him to turn up and he'll be disciplined as appropriate. But by saying nothing, everyone's saying, oh, he's got a bad attitude, but we don't know what's happened. Maybe he'll tell us at one point. We don't know.
Exactly. Nobody knows. Exactly. Go some more comments as well. And if I was threatened by my fans to get violent, I would have moved, to be fair. And that is from Jules. Caicedo has to be told to stay home and turn in the window. Maybe some with Gordon. I think it was more to do with threats against him. It could be James Maddison next. Who knows? Where's the green screen, Stephen John? I'm at a different location tonight, Gary. I do apologise. I won't be back until Wednesday. Because also I'm up here for the match on Tuesday night. Ashby has taken this West Ham pictures off his main Twitter profile header, and it is now black and white, black and a bit of white. Well, that'll be very interesting. Excuse me, that's a bit of a clue. If Newcastle gets 10 mil for Fraser, it makes the Gordon deal looks a lot better. Absolutely, it looks like a 35 million deal. You just mentioned it as well. I'm sad that Frank isn't one to relegate Everton. That's a shot. And I think I'm picking up from between Chelsea and I Like Coffee. I Like Coffee commented that Gordon's helped to help Everton get relegated when Gordon scores against them, and Jez said that it's a damn fine point. Can you imagine that? In the 95th minute, he scores against Everton to get them relegated. Now, I'm not sure Sean Dyche could get them relegated if it's going to be him. I don't think if Sean Dyche comes in, I don't think they'll be relegated. I really don't. He'll keep them up. Gordon already had.
But I think he
No,
probably.
it's not the case, but I think he will.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't keep him up, but he probably will.
He probably will. He probably will. Gordon already has his press photos and interview taken after the medical. I think that's either a coffee. Newcastle will be lucky to get 2 mil for Fraser. Just give the lad a chance. There you go. I want to come on to that. You've got to give the kid a chance. There's been people come on and defend their opinions, like you said, right? But at the end of the day, in my opinion, he would not be my first choice, but I would back Eddie, Dan Ashworth, and the PIF people, right, to give the kid a chance. Simple as that. Then you never know. Craig Bellamy, right? We didn't want him. Craig who? People cried. And then what he did, we cried because he proved us wrong. I hope Anthony Gordon, when he comes here, proves Newcastle wrong, because I think this kid under Eddie Howe will be good.
Yeah. I mean, I saw on Twitter earlier someone was saying, that Anthony Gordon is the worst signing we've ever made. And my reply to that was, you obviously weren't old enough to remember the likes of Rob McDonald. we have signed some absolutely terrible players in the past. Rob McDonald is probably the worst of the ones I can remember. Titus Bramble's another one that wasn't brilliant. Des Hamilton. We've signed some awful players over the years. We really have. It's just, I think people are basically judging him from what he did at Everton. But you've got to remember, he's playing in a shite side. Who, I mean, with the terrible management and a toxic fan base. So why are you gonna? It's hard to produce your best when you're worrying that you're going to get attacked in your car. It's not. I mean, they're a horrible set of fans.
Wow. I'll tell you what it is, right? I mean, whoever said that and God could be the worst signing, give the lad a chance, because at the end of the day, right, under Mike Ashley, right, we kick off, we don't sign anyone, and here we are, right? In a great position.
Emmanuel Riviera is another one that was awful.
Yeah, he was awful as well. Shocking. Absolutely shocking. Sums it up, because he was in Serie A B in Italy, playing with Cosenza and Cotone as well. Yeah, shocking. Absolutely shocking. Still kind of speak Italian, by the way. Big up to Mason, by the way. I'm in Manchester. No, I am not. Mason will be coming back on very, very soon again. And let's go for some comments. The Gordon deal is said to have a sell-on clause too. Yes, I'm aware of that, but we don't know how much it's going to be. Because I'll tell you something, right? This Matthias Fansa, right? I mean, it was after him, and Flamengo come up to us and say that we could sign him, but they want a 50% sell-on fee, where we're told to get stuff, basically. Yeah. Absolutely ridiculous. João Gomez, right, could be off to Lyon, right? Did he say exactly the same to Lyon? No, they did not. Simple as that. I still think Mbappe will be unveiled on the 31st of Jan. Just you watch. I love you, Ala Coffee. I love you, man. But hey, I've been into John. Danny, yes, I saw your message, mate. I'm gonna read it later, mate, if that's okay. I trust in Eddie and all informed transfer of Gordon, so that works for me, and I hope he turns heads and positive matter. Thank you, Gareth. Thank you so much, man.
The other thing you've got to remember is, since we've had this new ownership and the new management of the team, our record in the transfer market has been impeccable. Everybody we've signed has contributed. The other thing you've got to remember is that we now have someone that can come on, a wide player that come on that's better than Murphy. Because it's about building the squad. He's not going to walk into the first team because we've got some really good players, but he strengthens the squad. It's going to take him time to adapt to Eddie's system and the work ethic, and he'll have to get fit. But once he's done that, he'll be pushing ASM or Miggy for that starting spot, whereas Murphy now can't. Right, we paid a lot for him, That's partly because he's English, and it's partly because Everton is strapped, and we're paying for potential. So if it takes a couple of years for him to get to his best, and then he kicks on like Joe Linton did, no one would be quibbling about the transfer fee. But he's got to integrate into the team. He's got his win his place. But in the meantime, he strengthens the squad.
Absolutely. Totally agree. Totally agree. We need to strengthen the squad in each area, sort of thing. Otherwise, we just have the same team. It's not going to be any good at all. The Gordon Go on.
I just see Chris's comment. The Gordon deal has an appearance clause. Has to get
I had my cut as well, by the way. He needs to come back out, absolutely.
Yeah, that was brilliant, that one, Chris.
Thank you, because that's a star comment there. Star comment right there. Stefan Gavage, oh my God.
Yeah, another one that was useless.
He was useless, wasn't he? World Cup winner. Never seen a World Cup winner play so poorly. And it's all having a go up play, I suppose. It's got to be true, it's got to be said. Gordon is first in tackles in the final third, first in runs over 90%. Or 90. That's an Eddie signing. If you ever seen no one, that's in Cheers. Thank you, Cheers. Eddie Press as well. Clarkey is in the room, by the way. From an Everton point of view, considering Gordon's clearly wanted out to Everton, they got a tremendous deal for him. Everton better chance of staying up now with no bad eggs in the dressing room. Wow.
Well, you don't know that he's the bad egg in the dressing room.
No one knows. We don't know that.
He said he wanted to go, but then the way that the fans have been treating them, I'm surprised not more people have tried to get out of that club. So Danjuma decided at the last minute when he heard Spurs were in it to go down to London.
Yeah.
I mean, I think a lot of people are judging him from the little spats he has on the field when he's playing. We don't know the kid's personality. And I saw a video, I think Everton put it out, or one of the Everton, about him at Christmas going around the supermarket buying stuff for their food bank, their equivalent of the food bank and stuff. So the guy's obviously got his heart in the right place. He's just at a toxic club. You've got to give the kid a chance. So let's see what he says when he has his when they release his interview, and then you can get a little bit about the character of the kid. It's I think a lot of people's views of him are coloured by the spat he had with Kieran and Fabian when they came up to us early in the season. That little pushing and shoving. And
I know.
I mean, football fans are fickle, but if he comes on and scores again in his first game, all this will disappear. Exactly. He may be a shit house, but we are shit house. We've got support.
We've got a few at the club, haven't we? Shit housey, like, you know, him, Andy Gordon, Jamal Lascelles, Nick Pope, Jacob Murphy as well. We were that town.
Yeah, that was so funny.
That was sweet, absolutely so sweet. We suffered that before. Now it's our time. Boom song, some terrible by. He played for Juve as well, by the way, but in Serie A B, not in Serie A. It's very depressing signing, but I fully support him. Excuse me, that's from.
Why you think it's depressing? I mean, he was one of the two players that kept Everton up last season. Everyone else was absolutely dire. It was him and Richarlison that kept him in this league. So there's obviously something about the kid. I think it's it's the spat he had with Fabian Schär and Kieran Trippier, and people wanted James and still want James Maddison, and they got him instead. Or is it as well? We don't know.
Exactly, absolutely right. But look, at the end of the day, I'm not going to be fun, but you've got to give the kid a chance to know what we need here now. We won't be here now. We got to get on with it. It's like me going back a couple of years ago, Emil Kraft, right? I said to him, we're going to get Emil Kraft. So please no, because I watched Serie A, and this guy is absolutely bang average player for Bologna, right? And then people having a go at us, right? And I just took the notice of him, right? Because I had an opinion. And then Emil Kraft, under Eddie Howe, has proved us wrong. And he improved a lot. I wish him speedy recovery anytime soon. I like Emil Kraft now. I really like him. Wish Everton kept... Go on.
Yes, I was just saying that when it comes to players and being underwhelmed by signings, I remember when we signed Mickey Quinn, and I thought, oh gosh, don't think much of him. First game, scores 4 goals. No one doubted his signing after that. But you say it's one of those things that let's get him on the pitch before you make your mind up about him. Yeah, a couple of goals or assists early on in his career. No one will give a toss about his shithousery or anything like that. It's if he plays well, we don't care how much he costs. I mean, does anyone remember how much Fabian Schär cost?
3 million.
Yeah,
and everyone's saying that we're a cheap buy. We want a cheap buy. Fabian Schär, okay, I mean, he was not a sexy name at the time, but I tell you something, this guy is one of the best defenders in the country, if not in Europe.
But we don't care that we paid 3 million for him. We just care that he's one of the best as part of the best centre half pairing in the league.
Thank you. Absolutely right. Exactly. And I hope he signs another 2 more years because I loved Fabian Schär. That guy is class. I'll just go for some comments. 70 people watching live. Thank you so much indeed, peeps. And do hit the like button because it helps with me search settings as well. Thank you. Foxy, I wish Everton kept Lampard so to 100% get relegated. Now they have a decent chance of surviving Sean Dyche. Exactly me point earlier on. And let's go for as well. Give Ashby the wrong name. And apparently, Dyche told Goldbridge he wants Woodsy back because he doesn't like wood. Cool. We got Aaron, by the way. We got Aaron Hemmings. Aaron, hit the subscribe button, please, if you can, mate. Thank you so much indeed. I believe it's your first time. And do you think we will sell Maxi? To be honest with you, no, we will not. He is going absolutely nowhere. And people, please, please, please ignore the reports that's going on about ASM 1 to the away. He's not going to Milan. He's not going to Sevilla. He's not going to Villarreal, right? He loves Newcastle United because you know why? Because he loves the club, he loves the community, he loves the fans, the fan base, and he wants to be a part of this project.
I mean, Maxi will leave Newcastle, but not yet. He's not leaving in this window. Unless someone comes in with a Jack Grealish type of offer next window, he won't go. We're building a squad. We need to have a better squad because we're going to be playing in Europe next season. So we need to be able to rotate because we'll be playing 2 games a week. So we don't want to be getting rid of the likes of Maxi. We've still got to get rid of the Dummets of this world. I mean, Paul Dummett's been a great servant to the club, but he's hardly fit. He's not up to the standard that we are now. So it's the likes of him, Matt Ritchie, Ryan Fraser, before you even start about thinking about even, I think I've had this discussion with Tony on your show before, that those are the players that need to go before you even start thinking about Jacob Murphy, because he contributes. So if we get another winger in the summer, then you can look at getting rid of Murphy as well. But the 5 or 6 players in the squad that we need to move before we even think about selling some of the better players. Unless someone puts in a silly offer.
Yeah, very, very true. Really, very, very true, mate. We go for some more comments as well. I agree with you. Andy Gordon can shine. Cheers. Unpopular opinion here, but Brammer was a lot worse. He had a great pass on him for centre back in those days. It's just that he could be brilliant for 89, completely loses concentration. Yes, he does.
It wasn't the worst. But he was a mistake waiting to happen. He always knew there was going to be a wreck and it was going to cost us a goal. But
absolutely, absolutely. Alan said not pickable Rimmer Wood. John, but he has the worst haircut in football. Foxy, the problem is I've noticed a lot of fans flip and flop to suit whatever argument they have. Heard months of people stating Wood that all of a sudden trust the board and every side has been amazing. Man.
I've not been flip-flopping on Wood.
We've just been honest, and Foxy is right. We've just been honest here. Simple as that. We don't flip and flop. We just say how it is. You know, opinions are great. There you go. Big up to Kasapa is a disaster at coffee. The clause could be agreed to expire after a certain period of time. For example, the length of the player's first contact with his new club, after which should be no longer be in effect. That's from BT. Wood did the job. He's brought in a due, take the £5 million loan fee and 15 transfer fee off. It was £5 million well spent. Wow,
was it £5 million? Was it a £5 million loan?
£5 million loan, apparently. That's what Leslie's saying.
£5 million loan. Blimmin' heck.
Yeah.
Oh God, our own is a magician.
I know.
I thought it'd be something. I thought it'd be a minimum £5 million loan and 15 million to buy, 5 million to stay up.
20 million, darling.
That makes him almost as big a bargain as Bruno.
Exactly. I know. I couldn't believe the eyes. I thought, fellas, please go for it, man. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to criticize Wood. I'm not going to criticize Chris here. But at the end of the day, he's brought in what he had to do. But long term, he had to. We needed a better striker, sort of like Isak.
Yeah.
He is my striker.
He came in when we didn't have a striker, and we needed to avoid relegation. He did a job.
Yeah.
Scored a couple of important goals that contributed 6 points to us staying up.
Yeah.
And filled the void whilst Callum Wilson was injured. Right, we paid over the odds for him, but it looks like we're getting most of it back. So it's just
exactly. It's just money well spent.
It's a fantastic piece of business by the higher ups. If they got 5 million as a loan fee, then 15 million obligation, which isn't dependent on them avoiding relegation. And the guys brought in to replace is out for 2 months, so we should be able to get. He should, unless he gets injured, he should easily rack up the games for the obligation to kick in. That's
absolutely
just superb business.
What? Yeah, nah, absolutely for Newcastle and for Forest as well, by the way. So let's hope Forest stay up. And I think Steve Cooper's done a wonderful job. Really, he really is.
Yes.
Yeah. And
Sefton, how many players he had to bed in. I'm not surprised they took so long to get going, but I think they'll stay up.
I think they will. 100%. They pull it together. That Lordy left back, absolutely fantastic.
I'm just wondering if there's the obligation to buy is 15 million and it's not dependent on them staying up. The way how they structure the deal, I wouldn't be surprised if there's add-ons if they avoid relegation.
Yeah, I'll tell you what it is. So if it's 50 million straight up, then I think you have to pay the 50 million straight up. But all I'm saying is,
maybe there's a 5 million if they avoid relegation, so we get all our money back.
Exactly. So 5 million is just chicken feed at the end of the day. Losing 5 mil, it's just chicken feed to us. Sefton, big up to Sefton Centre Hoos, by the way. And I hope Gordon proves us wrong and ends up a great side in Madison next. Evening, John and all. For me, I would like to see a DM signing so Bruno can get forward. I'll be saying that for weeks and weeks and months. Yes, I think that's a good comment there. I take that. Definitely need to see DM protect the back four. Wood would have been a great player if he could further all the chances he had. Exactly. Didn't see truly mention Garash, Justin Clarkey, and Everton here to Seth as well. I to Davey as well. Big up to Brian and everyone as well. And with the chances Wood had the season, he could have had 10, 15 goals by now. Exactly. And got Freddie as well. Frederick as well. Can't see Madison happen this window. I've always said it's going to be a summer signing if it's going to be one. And Dave said hi to Les. Even lads happy with the Gordon signing. Gives us an option to potentially can play left side, moving J7 central. That is true. Need more players on by Tuesday night. Off topic. Who was the better player for Newcastle? Batty or Dyer? Batty all day long, John. Batty all day long and twice on Sunday. Not even there.
Close.
Unbelievable. But Sky Sports admitted Joe Linton from our record transfer list.
Yes, they did.
How did they? What happened there, man?
Yeah, now I think of it, because they had, obviously, they're saying that Gordon's our second highest transfer with the add-ons, and they put up Isak, obviously, then Gordon, then Bruno, and then it went down to Botman. They forgot that Joe Linton was 40 million.
Yeah, that's the first I've heard, man. Do you know what I mean? But if it's like the transfer record sort of thing, then Joe Linton's been knocked off of that record sort of thing. It's Isak, that's the most expensive signing, but wow.
I just see Chez's comment. getting
Yeah.
called Everton community service. It's like My Fair Lady.
I
Will
saw
shake
that, man.
him down, teach him to walk upright and speak.
Oh man, I love it, man. Get a goal at Everton's community service like My Fair Lady with shift the kid Toon, teach him to walk upright and speak. Exactly. Well said, Jens. That even as Dio's two different players. Yeah, that's a winner, lads. Very obvious to me that Howe wants a solid English group in the side. Trippier, Burn, Pope, Gordon, possibly Mad, showing it off. I'm a fan of it so far. Just hope Gordon's the right character. And you know what, Mark? That's well said. I hope that is the case. I've got Effie, Fiv, and Eddie. I'm going to back Anthony.
We do our due diligence. We do our due diligence.
We do.
Players. So if they had any worry about his temperament and his character, he would not be signing.
Exactly. So Everton are going for Chair Adams. Well, I tell you what, I ain't going to throw Everton's answers anytime soon. I don't think. If he put missing that chance against us, love it. I don't think we signed a CM. A shelf is possibly ahead of schedule. Sorry. People talk about Chris. If I was relegated, would return back to Newcastle as you will have 1 year left on the deal. I would at 80k a week. There you go.
Let's say if he plays the requisite number of games, he automatically goes to Forest. It doesn't matter whether they get relegated or not. That's what everyone's been, all the sources have been saying. Yeah. So he wouldn't. If he plays the specific number of games, he's not coming back.
Exactly. Yeah. I think he's got to pay it anyway. Talksport's callers are claiming Gordon's average player and overpriced. Sounds like bitter fans to me. I tell you what it is, right? I don't care what they say. I'm going to judge Anthony playing for Newcastle United Football Club. And then
for Everton fans, it just shows why we call them bitter blues.
Absolutely, man. It's just a bit salty, like, do you know what I mean? He's on shit house.
We should be happy that we paid so much for him.
Exactly. At the end of the day, if fans still have a go at him, stop bullying him, and like getting the cars and tapping his cars and threatening him, then he'll probably stay. But at the end of the day, you drove out of the club. We didn't. There you go. You never know Eddie might have him running around saying please and thank you after every tackle. Shithouse is part of the game. We all got to get behind our lad now. Luke, thank you, Luke. Thank you so much indeed for that. Fox said, BT, yep, I don't think this word as far as deal is guaranteed. That's made you think. Conditional obligation makes you wonder exactly what that is. Davey as well as talks. I try to pull our club down all the time. Totally agree. The Divas Orange, Dummett and Richie are free agents at the end of the season. Nearly 70 watching. Thank you so much indeed, cheers. Thank you.
Much the like.
And please share the content as well through Facebook, from Instagram, on Twitter as well, please. Thank you. Shelby's also free agent at the end of the season. ASM's my favourite player. I would cry if he left for Gordon. And I'll tell you something, right? He's not going to go anytime soon. Dig up to the Ant Live. Hit the subscribe button, mate, if you can. That'd be fantastic. Thank you. Gordon will be a good player. Eddie will fetch the best out of him, but we'd love to see Dembele from Barcelona. I heard that news will be after him as well. I'm not going to take that seriously. I take that with a pinch of salt, in my opinion. And I'd be amazed if they got him. I think it's a new deal anyway. So if he rocks it up sort of thing, what will happen to ASM's career? Do you think that Gordon's just a squad signing or would it be a starter?
I think at the moment he's a squad player, but then it's up to him to force his way into the first team. We need to strengthen the squad. I think that he'll be used as an impact sub off the bench to start off with, just like Isak's been. Right, he would have been if Wilson hadn't got injured. The way they bedded in Bruno, the way they bedded in Botman, Eddie doesn't seem to like to bring players in and then put them straight into the starting lineup. Obviously, Trippier and Dan Burn were different cases because of the need at the back and Matt Target. But for the attacking players, we got Bruno, and it was about 5 games before he actually started. It's close to that. Botman didn't start straight away. I think he likes to bed players in, get them used to the culture at the club, how the team how the team plays, and then they'll get a watching brief to start off with, and then he'll let them loose. Now, if they perform in training and when they get on the field, they play well, they have a chance of keeping their place.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Bruno didn't come with us when he came to us. You got to take time. Even Sven Botman didn't start, did he, against Forest? He was sub and came on at the last kick of the game. So Eddie, I'd like to bed them in. I agree with you. And I think you'll probably do the same with Anthony Gordon. I mean, he'll not be playing on Tuesday. He's cup tied, excuse me, and we'll get that in straight away. But look, at the end of the day, you got to trust Eddie, what he does. Big up to Brian, by the way. Always seen Gordon against us. I'm impressed. And remember this trick he did earlier this season, I think, left Botman in dust. Only one saw, Botman had him the rest. Exactly. Joe, Miggy, Kraft were all apparently rubbish before Howe arrived. Look at them now. Yes, absolutely. We wish Kraft a speedy recovery, Emil a speedy recovery very soon. And we'll go through more as well. We are going to talk about Trippier. We will go back to Anthony in a bit. And what's up to me? Big up to you, by the way. I hope you're okay. The big Southampton fan. And yeah, we got to do it again on Tuesday, my guy. You know what I mean? So win, lose, win or draw, we're there. Sorry, man. And I saw him as well on Tuesday, like as well. Great guy as well for a little chat. Great guy. That's what 5 mil. Don't know if we're paying towards wages. So that's in Leslie. Toon TV, but that's Toon TV ITU.
It's very rare these days when someone goes, when let's say a first team player goes on loan or a squad player goes on loan, that there isn't a contribution towards the wages. So I'd be surprised if Forest weren't paying any of his wages.
Yeah. Absolutely. We see what happens in the summer sort of thing, see who's right or wrong. But it'd be very interesting. I just hope Forest stays up, by the way. I really do. ASM's not for sale. Just the media causing trouble. Ali, you touched on that. Just reports coming through Gaudio Magato, which is based in Italy, right? Which I don't believe at all. AC Milan has now pulled the plug on the potential transfer of Newcastle United star ASM. Rossoneri has been in talks with the Toon for his representatives. And also has added as well. AC Milan has now chosen to snub their chance to sign the attacker. San Siro Chiefs have grown critical of the chances of permanent deals. So AC Milan have pulled the plug on ASM, and that's come to the Italian side. So, which is great news.
They've never had a plug to pull because it's all paper talk. Because I mean, like all summer they're trying to sell Bruno.
Yeah.
Why on earth would we sell it?
Makes no sense, man.
Everyone I think part of it is everyone thinks that Maxi's going to go because he's not playing. Well, you've got to remember that he was injured for about a couple of months. Then we had a World Cup. Then he was ill, and the team's been playing so well. Eddie's very reluctant to change the team, and we've been winning and not, or at least not losing. So it's always going to be hard for Maxi to actually get into the starting 11. So now we're at a situation where I believe that he should start with Isak instead of Willock and Wilson. We're getting into the rounds where the players that are regular starters that their form has dipped. Now, is it time to make the change? Now, you look at the difference they made when they came on Tuesday. Maxi had them all over the place. He got that guy sent off where if he doesn't make that tackle, he's got a shot at goal. Like, it still had a defender to beat, but you know that he can beat him. He drags defenders towards him because he's so tricky, and his distribution and decision making has just improved exponentially compared to last season. So I don't see any reason why we'd entertain any bid for him unless it's in that 100 million range, which would be stupid.
Absolutely. Not long do we remember the riots, and also Miss Davies' comments as well. Good school. We went in for the P. Didn't think didn't think that's where we were. And Clawlad mentioned Bruno wouldn't be have to play in the current Everton team with Lampard. Need to get behind Gordon. Exactly. Yes, I do that because it's the first one. Look, we're good, set, but maybe been more for the final. We didn't know. Just know the year above, we was full of dodgies. I know because I'm not about with them. And we've got one, Alan's mentioned like David Batty, who's a better player, but he did get nicknamed the crab because the pass is always sideways all the time. And Jess was saying about his kids. So Everton, fans are salty because they know he is good and 40 mil gets you little today. Exactly. I did hit you on people watching live, but please hit the likes. Thank you. Chelsea has just spent another 30 mil on the Gutso as well for Leon. And let's see, and Chess is chatting. And let's that one as well. And just chatting to Les. Peter's Foxy. If anyone from Everton should be requesting to leave and not turn up to training, it's Yerry Mina. Surrounded by fans. Wow, his kids was in the car. Yerry was at training every day. Now that's character. And Yerry Mina will be one of the best defenders in Europe if it was for his injury spot. So I rate this player. I really rate this player. I really do. But injuries just catching them up. That is the thing. Hi, John Rolly. I know there's an unofficial picture of Gordon being posted online signing for us. Yeah, I've heard that as well. And Gordon's guaranteed starter. He's not a foreigner. He doesn't need to get used to the league. Okay, I think Gordon goes straight in against West Ham for me, as he and the others are looking fatigue. Absolutely.
So and, the other thing with Anthony Gordon, as he's 21, I don't think he counts towards the 25-man squad.
He's English, you're right.
It's not because he's English, because he's 21.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. That's I know that now, sort of thing. So
yeah, so he doesn't take up a squad place because he's 21, which is also a bonus. But yeah, I think he might come on. I'd be surprised if he starts against West Ham. I think a lot of it will depend on the fatigue from the game on Tuesday. But I'd be surprised if he starts against West Ham. But you never know.
Yeah, you never know, indeed.
Yeah. And there's no point listening to Eddie's press conferences to find out because he tells you nothing about.
Yes. Totally agree, man. Totally agree. You know what it is, right? I mean, when he says that, something happens. You know what I mean? Look about then Isak saying they haven't got that much money, and then all of a sudden, Isak rockets up in a couple of days later. So it's all about playing the game. Play the game. I think we get Ashby over the line. I've got a feeling we'll try a late one for Conor Gallagher. He just fits the strategy. For me, I wouldn't have Conor Gallagher, to be fair. All he does is runs and runs, and that is it for me, sort of thing. So for me, I wouldn't have him. We've got a couple of players who can do that as well. And Dave's chatting to Leslie. I'm very impressed with Rolly on live podcast. Brilliant, mate, and well done. Good work, by the way. Yes. Chelsea still another player, and I believe it's Gusto underneath the nose. United is after him as well. And but didn't get him. Sefton, well said, Rolly is class. So when is Chelsea going to play 80 mil Casiedo? I wouldn't be surprised, by the way. And didn't know that, Davey, but in hindsight, a good school, etc. Who would be ideal defensive midfielder for me? That's a good question, Simon. I would go with Edson Alvarez from Ajax, Corny from Mönchengladbach.
Yeah, those two would be two. Yeah. I like Howe myself. He's a bit younger, but yeah, I think that we might have a go for Alvarez in this window, but I think that defensive midfielder, with the time you've got left, is likely to be filled in the summer. Then we'll have a better chance with being in the Champions League.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things, just going a little bit off topic, one of the things I find a bit funny when they say that, Jude Bellingham's going to Liverpool. Is he going to want to go there when they haven't got Champions League?
I tell you what, though, I think he'd be wasted there at this moment in time, even with Jurgen Klopp.
They're in the middle of a rebuild. They're in the middle of a rebuild, so long may it continue.
Yeah, Absolutely. Only rebuild takes 5 years. Let's be real.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we're 9 points in front of them, I think. 9 points in front of them. Hope long may continue.
9 or was it 10? I think it's 10.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Let it carry on, man. Let it carry on. I love it. Love it. They're rattled. Chelsea are rattled. Spurs are rattled, right? We finish above those, we'll be Champions League. No doubt about it. And who would you be ideal? Read that load of shite talk. Glenn, could you explain, please, mate? Explain. I disagree with that. We lose to George John. We cannot afford to lose. We're talking about Tuesday's game, right? What I'm saying is we must not lose. Win or draw, and we're in the final. That's what I meant to say. Sorry, Gary. He's a top guy, by the way. Gary's it's what I love to see for a drink because he talks sense, by the way. Let's be real. Ideal CDM would be Alvarez from Ajax. That's some true. I'd take him all day long. No way, Willock all day for me. Look, Glenn, I love Willock. We know that, right? I do love Joe Willock, yeah. But off late, last couple of games, he hasn't really done it. He looks a bit tired, in my opinion. But at the same time, those 2 shots he had, fired away with a bar, man. And I expect him better from him, by the way. But I'm still a Willock fan. And he'll come back to his best. Arsenal's put a new 70 million bid for Caicedo, but Brighton 180. I tell you what, if that move's happened, I think he'll probably go to Arsenal. He wants to be Arsenal move, by the way. Alvarez will be a dream sign for me. I would take him all day long. And Les and Foxy are chatting. And Stephanie. Hi to Stephanie. Hope you're okay. I had a sneaky break of word to watch evening, or hope everyone's okay. Stephanie, working abroad, yeah. And I'll tell you what, those cracking short and 76 people watching live. Did have 80-odd people watching live. Thank you so much, man. And look, we have to discuss about getting on my show hopefully tomorrow if you are free. So we're going to talk about either the preview for Tuesday's game, or you're going to talk about Anthony Gordon signing and what he needs to do. Rolys class for sure, but I love it when Sefton's on the stream too. Yes, absolutely. Frederick, the idea of CDM this season's Bruno is working too good to change. Next window, we can move Bruno further up. Absolutely. Everton saying that he's got to play further forward, and yes, he does. Because for me personally, I like to see him go forward as well. That is the thing. And everyone's saying hi to Steph. Chris Wood believes it has joined a club which is moving in the right direction. Do you believe this? Well, we're moving in the right direction anyway, but in Chris's point of view, not the fellas are moving. They are. They're winning. Yeah. They are not losing much games, like, do you know what I mean? So, yeah, they're doing okay. We're coming to Kieran Trippier in a bit. Will Gordon kiss the badge if he scores against Everton and Goodison? That won't go down well. I tell you something, if he did, that would be totally shithousery, man.
That'd be funny, but to be honest, I don't care whether they kiss the badge or not. It's just it's a spur of the moment thing, and at some point they'll leave the club. So yeah, they're going to. I suppose it's a nice gesture, but it doesn't mean an awful lot in my book. But hey,
yeah. They know what it is, right? I mean, if he does that sort of thing and he kisses the badge, a Newcastle badge, gets us in the top 4, finish the Champions League, he could do it all day long. Let's be real. He was in the main squad in Everton, so maybe that's not the rule. And talking about this 25-player rule there, he has to be given 20, so probably is in the squad. That's in Davy. Gordon does not command a squad space. That is correct. That's BT. Ian and fellas, good signing for me. Matters next. That's in David Doyle. We might not always agree, but Rolly is great. That's why I got him on my channel, because he is great. And Corny looks good. That's an Ash. Big up to Ash, by the way. Hope you're okay, mate. For what I read, Liverpool's looking elsewhere for a CM. And big up to Barbara Fear as well. She was on my transfer deadline show back in the summer. Big up to Barbara. Hope you're okay, from Ireland. How much will the transfer fee be for Edson Alvarez? You talk about 50 million quid. I don't know how many years left he's got on his contract. We'll say 2.5 years ago, but Ajax will command a hefty fee for the Mexican international. Wouldn't even waste my time with Alvarez. The way Ajax put huge prices on the players, especially when they are not desperate for money. And Schuder sat recently. Yes, he has been sat because Ajax are 5th. And there's a reason why he's got the boot as well. Carl has agreed to join Hull City on loan till the summer. The Newcastle keeper is set to move to Hull after Tuesday's semi-final. This is from Keith Downing. Rolly, Carl Darlow, he does need games.
Yeah, it does need games at his age. he served us well, but he's not good enough. He's not good enough now. I wish him well at Hull City.
Yeah, wish him well in these games time, you know what I mean? Rather than sitting and picking up 60, 70k a week sort of thing, like, you know what I mean? You're a professional footballer, you need to get in tip-top form, simple as that. You heard that rumour about Son and Kane. I fell for it. Gullible, let's be real fine. That ain't going to happen anytime soon. You honestly think Danny Levy's going to sell Kane and Son to us? They won't do business with us. Then again, we don't need them. We don't need him. I mean, Tony might want Kane. If Kane came, that'd be amazing. But we've got Isak. I'll keep.
Yeah, that's what I said. We've got Isak. He's 8 years younger, or nearly 9 years younger.
Exactly. You're right there, Rolly. 10 points ahead of us. We're 10% of Liverpool, by the way. Long may it continue. And it says, why wait till Tuesday? He can go now. They have Karius. Yep. For you, really discount Liverpool. You discount Liverpool. I know they have been rubbish, but they did go on a run last season. This is a tough run this season. We're better. We improved.
Yeah, well, the thing is, they went on a run last season, but they've shown no signs that they're improving. Last season, they weren't as bad as they are now, and then they went on a run. Now that they are, no one's frightened of them now, so that always makes it easier, harder for them. And they've shown no signs of going on a run. And then our form has been consistent for 12 months. There's no sign that we're going to actually drop off. They're not going to catch Man City or Arsenal. Man United it would be hard for them to get. I think they're too far behind. They may go on a run, but going on a run requires the teams above you to start dropping points consistently, and I can't see that happening.
Nah, we don't lose 3 games straight. There's absolutely no way. We just won't lose 3 games straight. There's just no way. Especially
as we play them in 3 weeks, and I need to pay Julie back. She got me tickets for the game at Anfield, and she's a red. So we need to beat them so we can pay back.
Exactly.
It'd be nice if we got a goal in the 8th minute of 5 minutes of stoppage time at the end to win the game.
Yes, absolutely. Do you know what? I hope we go 3-up at half time. We can't keep going 3-0 up against this side, you know what I mean? And they were shut them up once after all, like, you know, but it'll make my sweet. Big up to Les, by the way. I'm a working night shift on Tuesday. Oh, I'm so sorry for you, Les.
No, sorry,
really sorry, bless you, man. I do apologize. You've got to work on Tuesday night. Got it for you, but you can always listen to your radio wherever you're at. And hi to NGDB, by the way. Force moving one direction, would another. I love it. Just to wish Gordon well. We'll do well with Newcastle today. That's a recall, a big Evertonian. And going on. Appreciate that. I didn't
mean what I said about you Evertonians.
Yeah. He's watched my channel as well. Like, go down well here. That's Brian. And thank to Leslie. Wesley Sneijder continued with criticism of Edson Alvarez. Said he looks like he was giving out salsa lessons on the pitch. I'm not a fan of Alvarez. Mexican fans are not happy with me, but he sucks. And that is Foxy's word and Wesley Sneijder's word as well. And good to hear as well from Sefton. I'm good, thanks, John. A hard year. Lost my dad just before Christmas, but started to feel fresh again. You know what, Ash? My condolences goes to your dad as well. Dad's lost, Ash. I do apologise on that, by the way. I really am. And my heart goes to Ash. And for the chats, I hope as well. Do apologise, Ash, and welcome back. Sneijder also been slating the other Mexican player, Jorge Sanchez. Very interesting. If he did kiss a badge, I think it would pee Everton fans off. That's in Gally. Another shite housey as well. Could you believe that? And I'm sorry to hear that, Ash. I remember him being unwell. Yeah, keep those kind messages coming through. Alex is in. Who's people? Hope you're okay, Alex. Said those stats, John. Dot is on 70k a week. Is he on 70k? I thought he's on 70k. I wish he's on a week. He's on 40 a week or 50 a week.
I mean, it came out that after
he's on a 5-year deal.
It came out in the court case that Joe Linton's on 43. a week, which I thought he'd be on more than that. So I would expect Darlow would be on less than that. But yeah, I don't know what he's on. But yeah.
There you go. Alex, I haven't spoken to you for a long time, man. I hope you're okay, mate. And you know, things are on the up with you, mate. And we've got to meet up soon for a Newcastle match. Spurs 0 against Preston at half time, looking good. I know Sunderland drew 1 each, by the way, with Fulham, by the way. I could be wrong on that. Pictures of Gordon, put pen to paper on Twitter. We'll check it out later. And even to Alex again, even at Chess again, we go for fly as well. So we decided we're going to talk about Kieran as well, even the Clarky again. Everyone said hi, by the way, which is fantastic. Keep them coming, by the way. And Darl's on 30k a week, according to Clarky.
Yeah, there's a picture is out on Twitter of him with pen to paper in his shirt, in his black and white shirt. So I think you can pretty much say that it's official now. Let's see if it's on the Newcastle Twitter.
Yeah, I'll go for the comments. I'm not telling you, John. Got to do your own research, bud. So he's not gonna tell me how much he's on a week, but which is fair enough. And Joe Lynch on 85k a week.
In court, they said it was 43. He had to disclose it for his fine. So Joe Lynch's on 43. So.
Don't know who to believe there. I'm grateful, Sean. Hope
well, you believe the court.
Well.
You have to believe the court, because he's got to he had to disclose his earnings to the court so they could calculate his fine. That's how you know it's 43,000 he's on. And there'll be bonuses and other stuff as well, but his basic wage is 43,000.
Could be after tax, maybe. I don't know, but
that
kind of wage a week.
No, you have to disclose your actual your wage. So when they say it's on 43,000, that would be before tax, because that's how they calculate it on your actual earnings. So when you have a job, they tell you how much you're going to earn, but they don't take the tax. They don't say after tax. So when you disclose your earnings to a court, I presume you'd have to do your pre-tax earnings, and then they make the calculation based on that. So you can be, he's on 43,000, because if he's on more and he just said he's on 43,000 in court, and they find out that he was lying, he'd be in more trouble.
Yeah, absolutely, man. But look, at the end of the day, he got fined 29,000, that's 31. We don't know that, but 29k, we just got to move on. Yeah, David, apologise to you as well. A lot of good time. My brother's past enters hard, but you still have memories. We should make you smile through down the line, David. I do apologise as well.
Hang on to those memories.
Yeah, my condolences goes out to you as well, mate. I do apologise as well to your family too. Looks like Don's on 25k a week. Actually, still won't tell us. I think he's got a common flying in as well. I love to earn 30k a week, don't we all? 42 after tax, that's according to Ash, confirmed by Capology. And Toon, Alex said, I feel bad for not telling him. No, Alex, that's fine, mate. That is fine. Absolutely fine. No worries, my guy. No worries. He's on 30k a week. No, you blew 43. Yeah, and it's on 70k a week. That's his team. The judge calculated the fine on his weekly wages was 43k. Yeah. Sometimes it's better to say now than come out that petty shite, and that's talking to Toon Review as well. Wow. See what I've got to say about that one. Yes, it's a third of your wage. All of the information is out there if you look. And Clark, he said, also says 85k a week. We don't know what to believe. Right then, Kieran Trippier signed a new contract until 2025. People, what do you think of that? Are you happy signing a new deal?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Sounds like he's ready to end his career with us. If we get Harrison Ashby in from West Ham, we'll be able to mentor him. We know he's the de facto captain of the club, though Jamal Lascelles is the official captain. But he's just great to have around the club, and he's playing some of the best football of his career at the moment. So yeah, long may it continue.
Yeah, absolutely. And what he brings to us, everyone knows this, his leadership qualities, his attitude is spot on. He loves the club, and you know what it is, right? He could have stayed at Atletico Madrid for more money. He could have signed a new deal for a lot more money. But at the end of the day, he comes to Newcastle, right? And we were fighting relegation. And you know what? I appreciate with that as well. Big up to Kieran. He deserves this new deal as well. And it looks like Kieran's going to be our new captain. What happens if you do not work? What would the fine be? Well, that'd be very interesting, by the way. Very interesting. We're
you
not
still
sure
be fine, but it'd be on your based on your universal credit or benefit, wherever you are. But it'd be your income, so you'd still get fined. It just won't be 29,000.
Exactly. I'm happy that Trippier said, "No place I'd rather be." And you know what it is? This guy's attitude is so spot on. Can't see Trippier on the coaching staff. Can see Trippier on the coaching staff after this football finishes. I hope that is the case. I hope it's in Newcastle. And limit should be 0, no difference. 35 legal limit or 43 should be 1 million is too much. Alex, big up to Alex again. I say what I want. Whoever that commentator was, I missed your name. Well, I have to go back on it as well to find out who it is, or shall I? Let's have a look. I might have missed it now.
It's way back.
It's way back in that sort of thing, so we forget that for now. But who it was, big up to Joe as well. I'm absolutely fine, mate. Hope you're okay. Son opened the score for Tottenham 1-0 to Spurs at Preston. Oh, it's Davey. It's Davey, by the way. Just betting. Move on, and that's the guy. You got to make your point there. It's all about having a good opinion, sort of, etc. I have some rights. The irony, Davey. Keep this comment respectful. Thank you. Cheers. I appreciate. And one for Mighty Mag can see trips on future gaffer under Howe's wings. I tell you what, I think he'd be a good manager, Kieran. But at the end of the day, we'll see what happens on that one. So, Harrison Ashby. I don't know a lot about this guy. I know he plays with West Ham. He's a right back. Would you take him at Newcastle? Because I don't know a lot about him, to be fair.
I've heard a bit about him because one of my best mates is a big West Ham fan. And they are really gutted that he wants to leave. They want him to stay. He's one of their brightest prospects in the academy. They still can't understand why he hasn't played more games this season. But he's up and coming right back. I can't think of a better person to learn under than Kieran Trippier. He won't cost the arm and the leg. He fits the profile well. It's the right sort of age. I think we will get a deal done, because if they don't sell him by Tuesday, and he continues to refuse to sign a new contract, he doesn't go on a free because he's under he's 21. But he'd go to a tribunal and they get about £2.50 for him. So it makes sense that they actually sell him now, because he's had a contract waiting for him on the table since the end of last season. He's not signed it. He nearly came in the summer transfer window. They wanted to have more time to try and persuade him to sign a new one. He's not signed it. It's being reported on Twitter. He's taken the West Ham picture off his main Twitter account. One mate's just sent me a thing on Facebook where he removes pictures from Twitter. They're all saying, "Oh, we want him to stay. He shouldn't lose." That they really want him to stay because he's one of their brightest prospects. So I mean, with all due respect to West Ham, they're the sort of club we should be nicking their brightest prospects off.
Absolutely, man. I mean, I'd give this guy a chance as well, and always do like a young player a chance as well. Do you know what it is? Right? I think this guy is talented. Or what?
He's not going to go into he's not going to replace Trippier. He's going to be there to learn.
Nah. Yes, absolutely. Learn from the master, and it'll come great in a couple of years' time. When he retires, hasn't retire, then that place will be Harrison. So West Ham loves Ashby. Go on. If Ashby wants Ashby, we need to get him basically. That could happen. Ben Jacob said we could get him as well, by the way. Come on the next fan forum, Davey. There you go, Davey. Go on, post fan forum. Love the prospects of Harrison. Trippier as a mentor. No brainer. Aston Leslie, well said. Shearer said a cup win and finish 5th would be a good season. What are your views? For me, a cup win and top 4 would be fantastic.
Yeah.
And if go on.
So I take that, but if we win the cup, which I hope we do, everything's crossed. There's no reason why we can't push for the top 4 because we've got plenty of games, and it's not. We haven't got the FA Cup to worry about. We haven't got Europe to worry about. So we'd be playing one game a week, and we'll have some breaks with cup matches. So in the position we're in, we can have a really good shot at maintaining top 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the teams at the top, the teams that are normally in the fighting for the Champions League places, we've only got to go to Manchester City and Chelsea. Liverpool come to us, Man United come to us, Tottenham come to us, Arsenal come to us.
Yeah.
So we've got to play all them at St James's Park. It's only Chelsea and Man City that we go away to. So there's no reason why we can't beat all of those at St James's Park. We do that, we can stay in the top 4.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what it is, right? I mean, we get top 4, that would be absolutely fantastic, and a cup win as well. But we're gonna have a go. We're gonna have to have a real go as well. We posted Newcastle looking at Bayern Leverkusen's Mitchell Bakker. To be honest with you, I mean, that was last year as well. I mean, we tried to get him last season, it just didn't happen. So what are we backing for him this season? I just no idea. We've got Dan Burn left back, and let's be real, right? As another thing as well, we could do. We're waiting for Matt Target to come back as well, so we'll get that one sorted out as well very, very soon. So now I'm not sure about him, by the way. And so you definitely take Harrison then to West Ham, Harrison Ashby.
Yeah, I'll definitely take him. Definitely take him. And again, it's another thing. You look at how we operate in the transfer market. We'll make the initial bids. If we can't get him in this window, we'll try again next if we still want him. And if we can't get him in this window, we'll get him in the summer. They know who they want. Yeah. Unless they actually go to a different club, they'll pursue them until they get them. Look at Sven Botman. 2 windows to get him. And then everyone's worrying about not getting a centre-half in the summer. Yeah. And they got their number 1 target, and he was number 1 target from the start. I remember people being upset when Diego Carlos went to Aston Villa. So, why didn't we get him? Well, he's old, comparatively old, and he wasn't our number 1 target. We only went for him because we needed a centre-half, and we couldn't get Botman. I think we dodged the bullet there because we got Dan Burn instead.
Yeah, absolutely. You got him 13 million, and they I think Diego Carlos went to Villa for something like 22 million or something like that. Yeah. And now he's out injured. He's out injured for nearly 8 months. And I wish Diego Carlos a speedy recovery. But at the end of the day, I think we done well not to get him in the end of the day. So I'll trust PIF. I'll trust
a point that's not been made about the Anthony Gordon price tag. We're in the January window. Prices are more expensive in January.
Exactly.
Because Seville wanted close to 50 million for Carlos in January, but sold him for 25 in the summer. You always pay more in the January window.
Because teams that think we're desperate. People think we're desperate, you know what I mean? Or any teams that try to get a player. It's like the Arsenal one, Casido, right? That's why they put a hefty price tag on the guy, because they don't really want to sell him. Do you know what I mean? Arsenal's going to pay up to 80 million for this guy. That's why Casido is being told not to start for training. Do you know what I mean? But if they wait till the summer, then it'll be slightly less.
it's the other thing about it is that it's such a short window. You need to pay, that's why people pay more, because they need to get it over the line quickly, where in the summer you've got months to do it. You've got 4 weeks in January. Will Arsenal come back with an 80 million bid for Caicedo? Do they desperately need him now? Probably not. Do they want him? Obviously. I think that's one. If Brighton won 80 million, I reckon they come back in the summer with another 60 million bid.
Well, that's the one to look out for, by the way. And
I think the time is. I think there's so little time to do anything once if that deal goes through, that they'd have to meet that 80 million price before Brighton will let them go.
Yeah. That's the thing. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. It's going to be manic. It's going to be absolutely manic. Going back to BT's question, how much should be worth 200k? And Leslie said, about 300k, I don't know if you know better than he, to be fair. And Dave said, well, 5 million quid, apparently. Right, we've got Spacebar as well. Do hit the subscribe button, mate. If you can, that'd be brilliant. Thank you very much indeed, mate. Hi to you. I hope you're okay. I totally agree. Chelsea's vision in the window hasn't helped at all whatsoever, which they just want to spend more and more money, sort of thing, and just blow everyone out of the water, sort of thing. I hope Chelsea fails miserably. Let's be real, because I want them to fail, because they're so desperate. They're trying to get players at other clubs, right? And they're desperate to get in the top 4, which will not get this season. So, Sodom. And there you go. Right, I think, we got Rachel in the house, by the way. Big up to Rachel, by the way. Hope you're okay, Rachel. I hope you're having a good week. And everyone's talking to other people as well. So we're going to wrap up there, guys. And thanks for us for watching as usual. And Roly, where can we find you on socials? Where can we find you, man?
Yeah, I'm on Twitter at Pols67.
Brilliant stuff. And if you catch us on John_NUFC42 on Twitter and other socials, Twitch as John Sinclair 50, Facebook John Sinclair 50, also on Instagram, which would be John Sinclair 50. And also, if you like to subscribe to my channel, it's John Sinclair TV. And if you do like the video, like what you see, I had over 80 people watching tonight. Thanks so much indeed. Then give it a like, give us a subscribe as well. And we just go through the comments as well. Offered 1 million. That's in Davey. I do apologize. Everyone say hi to Rach. Great show as well. Thank you, Truls. Thanks for a great show, both. Thank you, Gareth. Yeah. Thank you, Mighty Mag. Thank you so much indeed, Clarky. Hi to Rachel, etc. And thanks for Leslie for your support as well, and Jules and Cheers and Truls as well. Please check if you still subscribe away. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you, Davey. Thank you, Spacebar. Thank you, I Like Coffee. Thank you, BT. It's on great show, Alan Little as well. So obviously we're back tomorrow. I don't know what I'll be doing tomorrow. It could be about Gordon again, signing any latest news from Newcastle, or it could even be a match preview for the Southampton game. So you could do a special show for that as well. Look out for that as well. And just seems to be doing what Nottingham Forest is, going on a massive spending spree. And thank you, Les, as well. And don't forget Rachel as well, by the way. And until then, Rachel, I will do backstage, mate. And thank you very much indeed as well, Clarky. And until then, thank you so much for watching. And like I said, the breaking news will be Andy Gordon will be on his way to Newcastle, past the medical. It's just a matter of time for the signings as well. And I'll be going Peter Shaw, could well be. And absolutely, Davey. Yep. There you go. Thanks so much for watching. Until then, it's goodbye and enjoy your week, all you got left of it.